Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we have Julie Hartley Brewer's Furious Clash. That was a tongue twister. Of C&E reparations. So yeah, let's get straight into this video. Make sure you click the like button. Stay tuned. Let's go.
Joining me now to discuss this is Iman Aden, who is an anti-racism activist. Thank you very much for joining us, Iman.
Thank you so much for having me, Julie.
Well, I mean, why should the Church of England pay out £1 billion in slavery reparations? It was originally going to be £100 million. They decided that wasn't enough. Why should they pay out reparations?
That is a lot of money. I don't know if that's taxpayers' money or I'm not too sure.
Something that's happened hundreds of years ago.
Well, the Church of England have actually officially decided that they're only paying 100 million, and they're actually hoping that wealthy, empathetic, logical, pragmatic donors will add that up to 1 billion. So it's not the Church of England that's paying 1 billion. No, not of course.
Well, it's via the Church of England. They're asking for donations, aren't they?
Yeah, so can I just finish? Sorry, can I just finish, please?
Oh my gosh. Iman really tests my patience when I watch these videos. Really does. Go and check out the Straight Talk podcast to get more of this. Me and Jason in the exact studio. I'll link it in the description. 100
million from the Church of England. The reason why they're doing this is because they invested into the South Sea Company during the early 1700s, and they invested 700 million. They ended up making 443 million. So they never said sorry. They never paid back or kind of repaired that damage, which is what ultimately they're leading with. And so now they're donating or using their endowment fund and whatever else they can combine in terms of righting those wrongs and repairing that damage.
Okay.
So it's 100 million, not 1 billion, 100 million.
No, what 1 billion is they're planning to do that. Okay. We've only got another 6 minutes.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
We've only got another 6. All right, we'll stick with your figures. That makes you happy. But we've only got another 6 minutes. So if you want to spend the entire time arguing over that, then we won't get to the point of the conversation.
But it's important. It's important.
I'm reporting what's actually reported today. But let's just get sidetracked, shall we?
I'll tell you what is important. Slavery that happens today over in Africa. There's plenty of slavery that actually goes on in today's society, but that's not actually the main focus, which is a big problem. We should actually be countering the things that are going on to this day, rather than the things that happened 400-300 years ago.
And it was recent. It was, when was it, last night? I think I watched it last night. So it's recent. But yeah, please continue. Please.
Can I carry on? Right. Okay. So, who would they pay this money to, and why should there be any reparations to people who live? Now, you can't pay any reparations to anyone who is a direct victim of slavery from the Atlantic slave trade, because they will have died many, many years ago.
The only thing you can pay the actual victims of slavery is a visit, because they're not alive anymore, unfortunately. And we do acknowledge that it's horrendous, absolutely horrendous what happened to him, and no one deserves that kind of, no one deserves that at all. We actually made it right. We abolished slavery. We apologised hundreds of years ago. And this was a very terrible thing, but I don't know why we're coming back to this point now, where they're asking for reparations from the Church of England. I can't wrap my head around it.
Descendant of slave trade is not necessarily been a victim of the slave trade. Now, we know in America there are long-standing issues in terms of civil rights until, certainly in my lifetime. That's not been the case here in the UK. Who would they pay reparations to, and why would those people be deserving?
Okay, so just quick 2 points. In terms of America, you're actually referencing overt racism versus covert. So they are very much delving into a lot of overt racism. Here, we've got quite a lot of overt racism, but predominantly covert. So that's the first point in terms of America. In terms of why the church is doing this, it's about legacy. So as much as they were actually really beneficial in actually a vital role in abolishing the slave trade. That's a lot of people don't really realize that. So 200 years ago, they're woke. started, all of that wokeness started, and they've continued it with race action plans and with trying to right the wrongs. And so in terms of why they are doing this, it's because, one, they have an agenda in terms of their race action plans, that continuation of, when they helped with equality, they're just continuing with that. So one of their agendas right now is two things. It's just a logical thing, right? Fair and equitable society, so therefore they want to make sure that they are leading and influencing the way, but that's due to the fact that they know that they use the Bible to justify, pacify and subjugate black people. So they know that
that's also incorrect.
Did that. So what they want to do right now is right those wrongs and see if they can find a way to deal with the low participation rates.
But who do they pay that to? When you say,
I will answer that question. No problem. No problem.
Well,
no problem.
Truly does
so what they're trying to do is deal with low participation rates. They're trying to deal with ignorance, all of which deals with the legacy. Because you asked me why we are having to do this, because it was in the past. So it's all well and good that they helped with the slave trade. It's all well and good that we ended the slave trade. But the reality is the legacy of the slave.
The reality, like you said, the reality of the slave trade is the legacy. The reality is it's done. It's over. We made it right. Let it go. Let it go. Why don't we focus on the real problems? This is why I'm on really, really annoys me. Because she got her head so far back into the past that she's living in a society where things are actually turning backwards. The amount of racism we have in the world, regardless, just disregarding the past. Now we have the knife crime, the black on black conflict that happens in London, in this current slavery in Africa. So many things going on that could be combated now. And we are focusing on paying black people for something that happened to their ancestors hundreds of years ago. It's just ludicrous to me.
The legacy of the transatlantic slave trade being racism still exists. So what they want to do is try to combat that ignorance, because that's something that they never dealt with, and they never really said sorry.
Okay,
and they invested a lot of money and made a lot of money. So that's why they're doing it. And who they are doing it for, let me answer your question directly, please. I do apologise. I just want to actually answer your question.
Okay, but we're very short on time. I'm not trying to talk over you,
I appreciate that.
You're talking for a long time.
So, no problem. So I apologise. So who are they going to pay it for, or who are they going to pay it to? The reality is reparations doesn't always have to be in the form of money. So what they're going to do is invest it in business-led kind of programs and initiatives. Anyone that wants to build a business that is ambitious, pragmatic, etc., they're going to promote it and kind of target that area. They're also going to lead with education, employment, and they're also going to lead with health. So these are really...
Employment. It's going to help me employment. Really? She dug that. She went that low. Employment. That's a lot of shit. For starters, I see just as many doctors who are black as I do white doctors. I see just as many police officers who are black or as many white. There's no white populated job. That's a load of shebang. She's just coming up with some excuse that she wants money. She wants reparations when they're not needed. This problem was solved many years ago, and there's not much else that needs to be said. If you disagree in comments, please let me know, because I would love to reply to your comments, because this is just absolutely crazy.
But hold on a minute. These things are happening already. Why should we be giving priority to a black person setting up a business in this country over a white person? What about a black person who has brought up in a nice middle-class family, gone to university, done fine, nicely, thank you, and a white person who's living on a sink estate, who hasn't had any of those opportunities, and you're saying, oh, well, the black person should benefit from the church reparations because of something that happened to long-distant dead relatives. That's not fair. That's not really tackling inequality today, is it?
No, what you failed to realise, and I appreciate that, but what you failed to realise is that the Church of England didn't use the Bible to justify, subjugate and pacify that white person in order to
pacify. They thought they were spreading the gospel. I'm no defender of the Bible teachings.
Them in order to promote
I'm not.
slavery
I'm an
and
atheist.
colonialism.
However,
That's
when
a
am
fact.
okay?
Hold on a second,
When
I'm
am
just
I?
telling you. Let me finish.
Ayrton, I've let. Sorry, Iman. Sorry,
You said we were running out of time. You've asked me a question.
But genuinely, you never finish. So I have to interrupt because you never finish.
Okay, but
When am
you
I
said we're
going to
running out
get
of
my
time. You asked me a
reparations?
question, so
I'm
now
a
you're
white.
moving on to the next.
I'm a
Where's
white
the
woman.
Irish's reparations?
I'm the child of
Would you like me
Irish
to answer
immigrants
the
and
previous
British
question,
people.
Julia?
When do I get my reparations from the Roman Empire? When do I get them from the Vikings?
You're forgetting about the racism, which means that you're leading with your bigotry, your agenda, whether that be your personal agenda or journalistic. It could be journalistic.
Yeah, well,
we know
it's probably because I'm white.
GB News, no,
It's probably because I'm white.
News and Talk
Just talks about my bigotry.
right-wing agendas that seem to be bigoted.
You just talked about.
Let me tell you something about Iman. She is very racist. I'm just going to put it out there. She's very, very racist, for starters. She's so racist towards white people. It is unbelievable that she gets airtime on TV. And I tell you why it's not pointed out much when white people receive racism. Because we don't care. We let things go. We actually put things in the past and don't use the past as an excuse. You know, there's some people that are so indulged in racism that a personality conflict or just a general argument would deem racist, and that's just crazy, absolutely crazy. The fact that some people are actually like that. Amon is a fine example.
If you just accuse someone who's asking you questions of bigotry.
Because you wouldn't say this to a Jew. You wouldn't say this to a Jew, Julia. You wouldn't talk about the Jews in terms of the Holocaust. You wouldn't talk about the Jews in terms of anti-Semitism. You wouldn't say to the Jews, well, you need to get over it. It was in the past. And you shouldn't talk about the fact that anti-Semitism has risen in the last, I don't know, a few months since all of those issues around the world. You wouldn't say that to Jews. But you're saying it to me because I'm black. So isn't that interesting?
Oh my gosh. There's the excuse. Because I'm black. Oh, it is really the lowest of the lower excuses. It's because I'm black. Really is. It has nothing to do with your skin colour. Let me be real with you. Nobody gives a flying shit what colour your skin is. I don't care if you're red, yellow, white, black, whatever. We don't care.
Me, because you're white, I'm going to say to you, you're saying what you're saying because I'm black. Race baiter. Thank you very much.
I've got someone shouting in my ear telling me I've got to go down, but I'm letting you carry on.
That you keep
digging yourself deeper in, love.
No, I'm very glad I got my time.
Okay, and now I'm afraid I am out of time, but you did a great job making your arguments. Well done. Iman Ayton, who claims to be an anti-racism activist, but not entirely sure she is.
I agree. She is definitely not an anti-racism activist. She's a racism activist towards white people. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this video. Let me know what you guys thought on my comments on this. Yeah, sorry for the recent videos. I've been biting my hands, my fingernails or the calluses, whatever. So that won't be happening anymore. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Peace.